departments of statistics like the United Nations and Britain and Canada give these same statistics. Oh, it's dropped even further. Then they go in they give the stats on different kinds of cancers that have exploded since the 1950s as well. And this is all normal now. There's no crisis made about it. Well, how come there's no crisis made about it? It's because it's part of the agenda. That's why they can calmly give you statistics and without mentioning the obvious. My God, everyone's becoming sterile or dying of cancer. That's the agenda. This is part of the population reduction control. Now, years ago, I read an article on Prince Charles, remember, all these, the nobility of Europe and America, as America has a nobility, they have their private estates where they have tenant farmers. That's down through the centuries. They've done television shows on them in Britain and elsewhere. They have their own vast herds of Angus beef and all the rest of it that do not eat anything that's modified. They have their fields of their wheat and their corn and all the rest of it that is not modified. They have their sources of supply. But they're making sure by law that we are going to eat all this modified stuff, the weaponized stuff, because it's part of the plan. That's the reason for it.
Jay Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Never mind what they've done. You see, we forget, too, that the most potent drugs ever developed came from plants. You can make plants grow anything. We know how far advanced they are to do with brain chemistry. And today, with the various high-potent drugs they have, they can make plants produce anything, dumb you down, make you passive, obese, whatever they want. They can really switch the whole chemistry of your body, and that's why you bring genetic bio experts in to make your food. Food is a weapon, always been used as a weapon.
All right.
And
absolutely. At the United Nations Food Conference in '96 in China, the Director General of the Food Program said we will use food as a weapon, and we don't apologize for it.
That's right.
When we come back, I'm going to back you up, Alan Watt, because there's an entire industry for decades called pharmacological crops where they brag they can make the plants do whatever they want them to do, and they're medicalizing them and using them as weapons against us right now. Stay with us. Key information.
The New World Order beast is genetically modifying your food, mixing vegetables with animals, and now experimenting with viruses. Without a long-term food solution, you will have just two options: starve, or surrender. All canned food supplies will eventually run out. What then? Grow your own healthy food and feed your family forever. SurvivalistSeeds.com is now the nation's largest bulk heirloom seed company, and it's owned by a real patriot, Big John Lipscomb. You can now have an infinite amount of healthy vegetables like a watermelon, a bundle of carrots, or tomatoes for a little more than a penny each. SurvivalistSeeds.com. And now you can go into business with Big John at SurvivalistSeeds.com by becoming an affiliate. See his link at SurvivalistSeeds.com.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
The Obama deception completely destroys the myth that Obama is working for the best interest of the American people.
Well, Obama's already fudging. He's fudged since day one in this election.
If you have a demagogue with a fanatical mass movement of personality cultists who is imposing the program of a group of extreme bankers and finance oligarchs, that's fascism.
It's not about left or right. It's about a one-world government. This film documents who Obama works for, the lies he has told, and his real agenda. Get your copy of The Obama Deception today at Infowars.com or download it in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. The Obama Deception. The people strike back.
Are you concerned for the safety of your loved ones? Listen closely to this message from Pepperspray.com. Every 22 seconds a violent crime is committed. America has changed, and your personal safety is your first priority. Be smart. Be safe. Trust Pepper Spray instead of your luck. Pepperspray.com is the only website you'll ever need for all of your non-lethal self-defense supplies. Pepperspray.com carries one of the largest assortments of pepper spray and personal safety products on the web. From big to small, we have it all. Pepper spray, mace, animal repellents, stun guns, and tasers. Pepperspray.com also carries a large assortment of products for personal, home, child, and pet safety. Enter SAFE in the coupon box and you'll receive a special discount off of your order. So what are you waiting for? Go to pepperspray.com. That's pepperspray.com or call 1-800-908-9988 today.
Coming up, we're going to play some clips of Lord Rothschild and Maurice Strong. We also have clips of them talking about how we're cannon fodder. The scum! We've almost got them. Look at them. They're almost sterile. They're all dying of cancer. They'll never fight us. Look at those police serving us, thinking they're part of the system. All implanted. When the hormonal fluctuation triggers it will metastasize. All on record, all laughing at you. They're talking about Republicans and Democrats, Labor and Tories, as if there's any other little slaves. Alan Watt is our guest. I remember about 6 years ago, I read on air an AP report about a Texas-based company, Protogene. And it said that they had a pharmacological crop that grew live AIDS virus in the corn. And then it had been open-air planted, and then that they'd violated some rule, and so it had to be destroyed. And it also produced a bunch of other things. And people called me and didn't believe that they have crops that grow live viruses or bacteria. The BT corn, one of the most popular corns out there, has been linked by major government studies in Germany and Europe and also in China to killing the honeybees because it's a live pesticide that is grown in the corn itself, and you still eat it. Now, this is all the big joke, and everything's about sterilization. And so now they're cracking down on organic farming and everything because, folks, they mean business. This is life and death. They are eugenicists. And so they have thousands. In fact, Google right now, for everybody, just minimize that video, pharmacological crops, that term, pharmacological crops. You'll get millions of hits all announcing, oh, this crop's got 14 different animal and 10 different plant and 5 different insect genes, and it produces all these chemicals, or it produces a live virus, and we harvest it for vaccines because they can program plants to do whatever they want. Then you tell the public, kind of like the famous story of me saying they have spider goats, part spider, part goat. And I had the CEO of the company on in upstate New York at an Army base, and it produces body armor out of the milk. And I had a guy at Conan's Pizza, I was picking a pizza up, come up and poke me in the back and almost start a fight. I used to like you, but you're a liar. I took biology at UT, and they don't have part spider goats. And I said, sir, it's CBS News. And he got in my face and kind of almost bulled up, and I had to say, look, I'm not lying, but believe what you want. Alan, they think we're living in 1900. They don't know. This is Buck Rogers.
That's right. The average person has been given the biggest mind job in this generation than any previous generations ever had before. And Brzezinski is such a massive player in all this, but he is an expert on the mind of populations. He was the head of the NSA for a long, long time. He's been advisor to, I think, every president behind the scenes. And he said himself that shortly the public, in his own book, Between Two Ages, shortly the public will be unable to reason for themselves. They'll truly believe the news media. In fact, they'll look at the news media as an extension of the reasoning powers. The media will do the reasoning for them. And they've trained people since the 1970s that is so.
Well, it's the semantic terms, too, Alan. People can't even understand basic English now.
They can't, yeah.
And they think warning them is showing off. Like the yuppie thing is, oh, you're telling me there's corruption. like that, like it's a mental illness, like make-believe, that if they make-believe there's not trouble, it's not there.
That's right. And the public, too, will believe the same thing that you tell them. If Barbara Walters comes on and spins it, that's okay. It's suddenly talked about all over. But if you say it, no, you're nobody, you say.
Exactly. It exists when they say it, because they're saying it's good, but when you say it, it's simultaneous.